Alright, it is time for day 4 of our Recoded Zero. Now, immediately, let me just go ahead and pull up the BLCM. This whole time, we could have made Deception drain health instead of shield. Now, that still sounds rough, but that means that theoretically, Warlord and Unburdened would have worked. It was changed specifically to be shield drain because people were complaining about the health drain too much, so I guess that they just folded and went ahead and made it shield drain instead. But if you made it health drain, Warlord would work and make sense, Unburdened would work and make sense, and then Breath of Life would make sense as well. So in an alternate timeline where this mod had selected Blood Draw passively as the normal thing, this would have been probably not great, but like kind of fun. You probably would have wanted a couple more healing skills on the character if it was a health drain, because literally this is like the only thing that would counter it. This would like give you a little bit more and probably keep you at least up on your health. But like that would require being pretty deep into your skill tree, which I say pretty deep into your skill tree, but it'd be not too bad. I mean 5, 10, 11, well, okay, 5, 10, 11, whatever. You get the idea. You'd be like level 20 something before you got this, and then you would be like level 25 or so whenever you got this. So you'd still have to be like most of the way through your normal mode playthrough before the health degen would actually feel reasonable to do. And then from there, after committing to the middle tree, you could start to invest in left or right. I think that I like the shield more as an idea, to be fair. But like, yeah, if we had had the health drain, this would have made way more sense. This would have been way more reasonable to have done. And then Breath of Life, of course, would have given a lot of life back on kill to keep us from just outright dying if we were doing poorly on kills and stuff. Which, I know it requires kills too, but at least it would be a good bump every single time that we hit that. But we can still use shields for our gun build. Honestly, if there's a way to toggle between gun builds using shield and then melee using health, that would probably work pretty well. But whatever, we've been running shield because that's what the mod ships with. I just wanted to note that as a thing. I don't think we need to swap over to the health drain to be able to use these. We'll be able to just use kneecapper just fine, probably. And today we're going to just go ahead and hit OP 10, we're going to get some gear, and then probably just fight some raid bosses to round out the playthrough, because the BL4 is coming out real soon, so I want to be able to do that. Okay, so for peak, we're literally just going to go ahead and do some skips, because we can. Just why not, you know? Well, okay, if we can, hold on. There we go. And then we'll take advantage of the Hive plus the Queen Bee to just have infinite ammo, high damage assault rifle. And then whenever we eventually get over to our binary fight, we just do boar. Because, like, boar. So that should be just fine, probably. Hello. Yeah, I deserve that. This does deal self. But also, yeah, this thing has really high damage, so we're okay. And the singularities just hold them in place. Like, he was really trying to jump away, but he just kept getting pulled back. So he just could not do anything about that. Okay, OP1 unlocked. Alright, binary time. I'm assuming we can just do more about this, right? Yes. Yes, we can. Well, that makes this simple enough. Okay, the game's upset and the boss is still alive. Interesting. This is a level 61 lead sprinkler, by the way. I think, right? Yeah, level 61. Okay, that was a really good one. Alright. Well, OP10. Now we just get to farm him for some pearls, which honestly should be simple enough. Alright, from our little bit of farming escapade, we've got a barrage, we've got Proton Flare, Queen Bee Still, Manhattan Project Ray Gun, 4th of July, a liftoff for moving around, and then realistically I'll probably just bump a lot of this equipment up to like whatever we want it to be, maybe make a hybrid or two, especially out of the Manhattan Project. And then we have our exiled Akatsuki class mod. I hope that's correct. My Midwestern accent probably does that no favors. Melee damage, sniper damage, team critical hit damage, and we get +7 to Apex Hunter, Rising Shot, and then Armored Warrior, Unseen Threat, Warlord, Whirlwind Sprint, and Bloodshed. Okay, so like that probably would be a pretty good melee class mod. It's a good catch-all class mod, really. I think I would probably still use our proper melee comm. Wherever it is, there it is. Yeah, because it does give +2 killing blow, although I doubt we need it. And then also Swift Shadow is nice for it. But like, yeah, it still is a good, reliable catch-all comm if I never wanted to swap comms ever again. But gun damage on Sharpshooter is just really, really good, so it's hard to compete with that. Okay, well, let me tinker and then we'll just go start frying dudes. Okay, we have gassed up most of our items here. So the liftoff is just going to be for movement. So this pretty well got left alone. The Manhattan Project, I've gassed up into the most absurd hybrid possible, you know, like we normally do with it. Just because why not, I guess. Slurred Words is just here for the orc effect. 4th of July is Dove. So it'll be pretty nice for just some nice damage and area clear. Might want to put some more fire rate on it, honestly. There we go, that's a little better. We've messed with our ray gun, our barrage. I upped our queen bee. I've messed with our lead sprinkler severely. Words are hard. So it now has the Kratos and Maelstrom effects on it. So every once in a while this thing should just start going off for no reason at all. And also the fire rate is really high. There it is. So we'll see if that doesn't just break the game at some point. And then we have our melee stuff, because our melee stuff is just old reliable. We'll probably just go stomp out OP10 bosses and like no time at all, I would have to imagine. We'll start with the lead sprinkler since it's the one that I really enjoy. And then we'll just kind of go from there. Hello, Terra. Yeah, that seems about right for what we've done to this. Honestly, if I dehybridize it, I think it still probably performs respectively well. Oh, I have a spawn multiplier on. Oh no. Well, hold on, wait, we can use that. Okay, let me turn that off. So how do these two fellas interact? Oh, perfect. Okay, we still have one alive. No clue how much health he has. Not much. Alright, cool. Well, yep, lead sprinkler seems pretty good, checks out. I might as well just go ahead and use the Manhattan Project because we know what that's going to do to him. Like, yep, that's what that does if you hybridize the crap out of it. It still does fairly well without it too. The Barrage is kind of just a fun little high fire rate pistol. So like, I don't really need to test this. I might put a different scope on it so we don't get the kickback so much. And once again, I'm using the vendor edit mod to do this, by the way, just for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah, we're not the character for this pistol, even though it is a really nice pistol. But we're just not the character for it. Still pretty cool, though. Okay. I also completely forget, but we do have critical ascension. So if we were somehow to engage in a prolonged fight, we could also just do critical ascension about stuff. So that's totally an option. Let's go bully Hatterax real quick. Well, there's always just doing this about it. Yeah, that seems pretty good. Okay, dragons, I'm literally just going to try to get them before they even land, which really should not be that hard. Yep, we somehow tagged the other ones. Okay, well that's interesting. This character with Limitless is going to be absolutely ridiculous, huh? I mean, they already are, but like, it's going to get worse. Okay. Okay, Hyperius is usually pretty squishy. But we're going to go ahead and try to go for a boar kill. Also, he is moving. Right, I can't just go invis. Well, that works too. I do want to try that again, though. That felt really stupid. The main problem is he just walks so much faster now. Okay, yeah. He just moves so much more that it's going to be kind of tedious to get him to stay still for a boar kill. So we'll just take that, I guess. Hello, Master G. Yep. Can't hurt him until we get through his first shield. Honestly, let me dehybridize this Manhattan Project. Let me just, like, strip it down most of the way. Probably behind cover where he's not going to punch me in the back of the head. Okay. G, please. Okay. Yeah, it's still Master G, either way. He's still himself. I would still definitely prefer to gate crush him if I were just doing this casually, but damage is pretty fine, even without too many hybrids. I'll say too many because we definitely had a few. But yeah, he's definitely thick. And then, of course, yeah, you could just sit there and, like, dock kill him as well. If you didn't want to do gate crush, you could just AFK for a while and watch his health bar tick away from the corrosive. That's totally an option. Let's fight Pyro Pete with the Hive, just because it's funny. And also because we can probably put him in air jail or something. Like this. I just like this weapon. I think it's really funny. Even if it's probably a little too strong. What is... Alright, Pete, if that is your name. He does get pulled. Not well, but he gets pulled. I tried to hide while also shooting. That was a mistake. I'm just gonna go ahead and eat the L. That's fine. Yeah. Do not try to hit directs. There's no point in trying to hit directs at all. Okay, let's go ahead and swap over to the health drain instead of shield and fight Terra and Vora with it just to see how those feel. Okay, the mod has been switched over to health drain. Why is it doing both now? Wait a minute. No, I have it set to be powered. No, what? It's set to be blood draw. Well, let's see what happens. Well, I have 0 health, so that's something. Let me go ahead and fill up my health bar and then see if we can still use our invis. Yes we can. Okay, cool. So now we can consider Unburdened and Warlord in our build, and it'll actually make sense to do. Okay, so with our newfound melee tomfoolery, we are of course going to use the kneecapper and the fillet alongside our orc to do orc stuff. Exiled Akatsuki, which I might honestly trade out for the melee class mod. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'm not exactly sure. I feel like this probably does better because of Apex Hunter, paired with the fact that it buffs a lot of stuff. I don't have our dodge chance up, but like I probably should. This would buff corrosive damage too, which we deal. Man, building is weird. Alright, hold on. Okay. Yep, same thing, just now we have the corrosive stuff, a bunch of melee stuff over here, kunai and getting down middle tree here. I have clapback in case we proc it, but I doubt it, so we'll see. And then Apex Hunter gives us 180% more damage while health is full, which we're not really going to use because we have the health drain modifier on. And then, like, just stuff. So we'll just kind of see how this feels. I'm assuming not bad is going to be the answer, right? I probably should have gotten the life on a Breath of Life here, but I feel like Swift Shadow and Second Wind will keep us up. Oh, it just meets it. It doesn't actually, like, surpass it. But that melee against basic adds is good. And now suddenly we're gaining health. Okay. Man, I probably want that life skill. I probably need a 3rd survival skill for this to work. Without, yeah, health gate problems. Okay, well, let's just go test it. See how we feel. That's a lot of damage. Hold on. We did it. It only took a lot of tomfoolery. Also, I just realized that I can't run Second Wind because that gives me shield regen. So that counters our whole melee shield thing if that triggers during a boss fight. But that worked out somehow. So that's cool. I don't know why it worked, but it worked. So like we take those, I guess. Alright, let's go fight Vora. Alright, strip our shield out of the arena just because we can. Instantly blind myself because I forgot what I was doing. I don't understand. I don't understand at all why that just suddenly works sometimes. I wonder if momentum is overflowing. Well, either way, that works pretty well. Let's actually melee the boss, just with our bare hands, and see how that goes. Hey, you silly giant that you immediately gave him shield. Why? Well, that seems pretty good. Why is it suddenly really strong? I don't understand. Hold on, let me go fight someone else. Alright, his shield dropped. Well, that works pretty darn well. Let me get our health bar back. Never mind, they're just eating the transfusions. Let's not do that. Oh wait, no, we have them, they just don't have trails for some reason. Normal stuff, you know? Hey, buddy. Yeah, stay right there. There we go. Yeah, if the saw blades aren't, like, being thrown really far away from him, this actually works pretty well. It's just the problem of the fact that he's just so small, and he gets thrown by them really, really easily. Let's give Worm one more try as well, just because he deserves another attempt, since the first one didn't look so good. Okay, there we go. That's a lot better. So, yeah, I slept on the melee a little bit, probably, but that's also just because we were rolling super duper fast. But yeah, turns out the melee is plenty strong. If you just also adjust the game to deal health drain alongside your shield, so that you can actually just, like, use a Roid shield, or other stuff that actually makes Roid feel really good. And that'll pretty much do it for the character. Tomorrow we will load up Limitless with Recoded to just see how funny that will be. I'm assuming we'll just dunk on everything. And then the day after that, I will be streaming Borderlands 4. It should be available to play at 11 a.m. Central Standard Time on the 11th. So if anyone wants to stop by, if you're seeing it after this time, absolutely please feel free to do it. We will be on for probably like 8 or 10 hours. I don't even know. I'll be on for a while. I want to play through the entire campaign. I don't know if I'll do it all in one take, but I will be playing Harlow for my first character. I want to use her ball attack. I want to use it with the little radiation spikes. I want to make it split into multiple balls whenever it hits an enemy. The whole thing. I want to see what it does. She looks pretty interesting out of the group of characters, and she also has some co-op skills, so like maybe in the future she could be a fun co-op character. We'll see. That'll be it for today and for this character though. Day 4.